wanted to plug your guitar,
Yeah, rock and roll!
and have it work magically with your speakers without having to do anything else and adjusting knobs and buttons and even turning anything on. So this magical man cave isn't just a cool chill out space, it's also a bit of a practice area where I can play guitar. Now last year I was really ill for quite a long time and I didn't upload anything for months. During that time I learned how to play guitar because frankly I was really bored. I wasn't able to go to work because I couldn't talk because I wasn't able to breathe a lot of the time. But between coughing like crazy and not being able to breathe and calling an ambulance, I was at least able to do something with my time. One of those things was learn how to play the guitar. I'd always messed about with it before but never really got to know very much more than a couple of chords. Now I can play a lot more songs, which is awesome, but it does come with a bit of a problem. In the Magical Man Cave, I'm kind of getting short on space now. What with the moving portrait and the ghost hole and the talking pumpkins and the skull and the wand weighing machine, there's loads of stuff in here. I've also now got a guitar. Where am I going to put the amp? Well actually, I don't need one because I've worked out a way of plugging my guitar directly into the fireplace and using the fireplace as an amp. Sort of. So for about 30 seconds, bear with me while I explain what a guitar is and how it all works. Now my guitar is an electric guitar and it's got one of these. This is a standard jack plug. It's a 3/4 inch plug and it goes in the bottom just there. Now the guitar has strings. The strings vibrate and because they're metal, these magnets here, also known as pickups, pick up the signal, pick up the vibration and sends an electrical signal down this wire here. And what happens is that normally would go into an amplifier to amplify the signal and that's the sound that you hear. So if I was to strum a chord it would sound something like this. Now the problem is that if it's not amped up, this is what it sounds like. Can you hear it? Not really. But if I amp it up, it sounds something like this, which is a lot easier to hear. So that's why you need an amp, to make it louder. The problem is, these things normally come in boxes of at least this, but usually quite a lot bigger. And so what I've decided to do is to reuse some of the tech that I've got, because I'm a bit of a techie. I've already got speakers, I don't need them. I've already got an amplifier for other things, including my talking pumpkins, so I don't need that either. If I can feed the signal from my guitar into that setup, I should be able to have an amp without having an amp. So what I've worked out is that I could take this signal through this lead and plug it directly into a wall bracket. So the socket itself is a 3/4 inch jack plug socket that's designed for things like studios and embedding into project work. But it's perfect for what I need because then I can just plug it into my fireplace and drill a hole through so I can plug something actually directly into it. But what I've done on the other side of the wall I think is quite clever because I've taken a very good quality lead, cut it in half, which scared me a bit because the lead itself was fairly expensive, peeled back some of the insulation and wire it directly to the jack plug socket. What that then does is to have this termination end on the end of the jack plug. So that can then go directly into the mixing desk. Because I've got two jack plugs instead of just the one, I can plug my guitar in, my son can plug his guitar in, and we can then use the mixing desk to make sure that the levels are right, meaning that mine is louder than his. Then we run the output from the mixing desk directly through the amplifier that we've already got for the Talking Pumpkins. And if you haven't seen the video about the Talking Pumpkins, have a look at this video up here. It's really good, I think. It's one of my older videos, but the pumpkins themselves look awesome. And the amplifier then goes through the Man Cave speaker system again that we've already got. Now, the next thing is going to be how do I turn this thing on automatically? Now the answer sits here on the headstock on the back. So just underneath the machine heads, here is a contact sensor. This is actually a magnet part of the contact sensor. The rest of it goes over here on the guitar hook. So this guitar goes back onto the wall like this, and when it does, it makes contact with the guitar sensor and it turns off the amplifier. When it comes off the wall, it turns on the mixing desk, the amplifier and the speaker all in one action, so that all I have to do is just take it off and play it just like an acoustic guitar. Nice.
Even a drunken goblin has more musical talent than you.
Okay, so let's start by taking it off the wall.
Well, if you're going to have to play something, at least it's not a saxophone.
He's so rude. And then when I put it back on the wall...
You know, I prefer the sound of silence. Are you sure you're holding that thing right? Because it's offending my magical senses.
He talks too much. And now if I strum it, it's off, which means that I can accidentally brush against it and it won't make a noise. So there you have it. It's quite a simple smart home automation, but I think it's really cool. And what's really neat about it is it's not only really quick to start playing and stop playing, it also saves a lot of space and it tidies up all of the cables that can otherwise be quite a bit of a mess. So the next thing I might consider is putting together guitar pedals or something like that. Maybe even a pedal that will automatically start a video recording or start recording my music if I eventually get that good, I don't know. But what do you think? What would you use this sort of routine for? Is this sort of thing useful for you? Please let me know down in the comments. What other kind of wacky, crazy stuff could I do in this magical man cave? I'm always looking for ideas. I'm on ChatGPT pretty much every night going, hey, what can I do that will make this place even more magical? So if you've got any ideas, again, let me know down in the comments. If you like this sort of video, click like, subscribe, ding that bell, all of that sort of stuff. And if you want to see it before everybody else, consider subscribing. It's £1.99 per month. And again, the links are down in the description. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back next time with some more magical awesomeness. But until next time, as always,
Very magical.